3 months ago, I was scrolling through music late at night when I heard something that stopped me cold. Jelly Roll's voice cutting through the darkness, declaring with absolute conviction, "You ain't nothing but a liar." It wasn't anger, it was freedom. It was someone who had finally found the courage to call out the voices that had been destroying them from the inside. But as I listened to that powerful declaration in Liar, I realized something was missing. After that moment of triumph, where was the community? Who was there to witness this breakthrough? Who was saying, "I see what you just did and it matters"? Let me paint you the picture of what I heard. Jelly Roll starts by admitting he let these voices drive around his mind, making him feel like nothing. Sound familiar? We've all been there. Those internal critics, those toxic people from our past, those societal messages that tell us we're broken beyond repair. But then comes the shift. Now I know you ain't nothing but a liar. That's not just a realization, that's a declaration of war against everything that's been holding him back. He's calling out the lies about drinking away pain, about money bringing happiness, about heaven not being real, about his heart being too broken to love. These aren't just personal demons, these are the universal lies that keep us all trapped. I've been that person standing in my own truth, waiting for someone to notice. We all have. You know that moment when you finally find the courage to say no more to the voices telling you you're not enough, that you'll never change, that love isn't real. It's terrifying and liberating at the same time. Your heart is pounding, your hands might be shaking, but there's this incredible strength rising up that you didn't know you had. I remember my friend Sarah. I've told this story before, but it bears repeating because it's so universal. She finally confronted her abusive ex-husband after years of being told she was worthless. She came to me afterwards, shaking but strong, and said, "I did it. I finally told him he was a liar." The courage in her voice was identical to what I heard in Jelly Roll's song. But in the weeks that followed, I watched her struggle with doubt. Had she done the right thing? Was she strong enough to maintain this new truth? She needed someone to keep reminding her, "You're not imagining your own strength." That's when I started recognizing this pattern everywhere. I've watched friends have these breakthrough moments, calling out toxic relationships, standing up to addiction, refusing to believe the lies about their worth anymore. There's my buddy Marcus, who finally told his controlling father, "Your approval isn't worth my soul." There's my neighbor who looked at her gambling addiction and said, "You're destroying my family, and I'm done." There's my cousin who faced his depression and declared, "This darkness doesn't get to define me anymore." But what I noticed was the silence that often followed these powerful moments. They'd find their voice, make their declaration, face down their demons, and then crickets. No one to say, "I saw what you just did." That took incredible courage. No one to reflect back their strength. No one to say, "You're different now. You're a warrior. You're a truth speaker." That's when I realized something crucial. Breakthrough moments need witnesses. They need someone to say, "You're not imagining your own strength. What you just did matters. I see you differently now because you are different now." Think about it. How many of us have experienced that moment of truth-telling only to find ourselves alone with our newfound courage? We break free from the lies, we walk out of the fire, like Jelly Roll says, but then we're left wondering if anyone sees us differently, if anyone recognizes the warrior we just became, if anyone understands that we're not the same person we were 5 minutes ago. This isn't just about personal recovery, it's about how we show up for each other. When someone in your life finally says, "No more," to whatever has been destroying them, they don't need advice. They don't need a lecture about the next steps. They don't need someone to fix them or give them a roadmap. They need someone to say, "I see your courage, and I'm proud of you. You're stronger than you know." We live in a world that's quick to offer solutions, but slow to offer celebration. Someone finds their voice, and we immediately want to give them the next steps, the resources, the phone numbers, the recovery programs. But sometimes, maybe most of the time, the most powerful thing we can do is simply witness their strength and reflect it back to them. To say what you just did took everything you had, and you did it anyway. That makes you a truth speaker. When I heard Jelly Roll's Liar, I knew exactly what was needed. Not another advice song, not another "here's how to heal" message, not another "call this number if you need help" anthem. What was needed was a witness song. Someone saying, "Brother, I see what you just accomplished. You walked through fire and came out different. You're not the same person you were 5 minutes ago. You're a truth speaker now, and that matters. So this is Truth Speaker, what community sounds like when someone breaks through to the other side. This is what happens when we stop trying to fix each other and start celebrating the courage it takes to choose truth over comfort, reality over illusion.
I heard you calling out those lies for what they are. Standing in your truth beneath the evening stars. Takes a warrior's heart to break those heavy chains. Brother, you just freed your soul from all that pain. Every word you spoke was fire burning bright. Every step you took was walking toward the light. True speaker, heart keeper, you're stronger than you know. When the devil tried to plant those seeds, you wouldn't let them grow. You walked right through that valley, came out the other side. True speaker, heart keeper, you got heaven as your guide. They told you love ain't real when your heart was torn. Said you'd never find the peace for which you yearn. But I can see it in your eyes, that light ain't gone. Your heart ain't broke, just learning to be strong. Every wall they built, you tore it to the ground. Every lie they told just made you more profound. True speaker, heart keeper, you're stronger than you know. When the devil tried to plant those seeds, you wouldn't let them grow. You walked right through that valley, came out the other side. True speaker, heart keeper, you got heaven as your guide. When those whispers try to creep back in your mind, remember this moment, leave the past behind. Your story's being written with a brand new pen. You're not the same person you were back then. True speaker, heart keeper, you're stronger than you know. You took back every piece of ground you wouldn't let them own. You walked right through that darkness, brought your own light. True speaker, heart keeper, everything's gonna be alright. Yeah, everything's gonna be alright. You're a true speaker tonight.
The next time someone in your life has a breakthrough moment, resist the urge to give them your wisdom. Instead, give them your witness. Tell them you see their courage. Tell them they're stronger than they know. Sometimes that's the most powerful song you can sing. Because here's what I've learned. We're all fighting these same battles. We're all dealing with voices that tell us we're not enough, that we'll never change, that we're too broken to love or be loved. But when someone like Jelly Roll finds the courage to call those voices what they are, liars, and when they walk out of that fire transformed, they're not just saving themselves, they're showing the rest of us that it's possible. That's what these twisted reactions are really about. Finding those moments in music where someone needs a witness, a response, a musical conversation partner. Music speaks to music, and sometimes the most beautiful thing we can do is listen to what songs are asking for and try to provide it. Not to fix, not to correct, not to improve, just to witness and celebrate. When Jelly Roll says he's only going higher, he's speaking for all of us who've ever felt trapped by our past, our mistakes, our circumstances. When he declares that he's not scared to tell those lies where they can go, he's giving us permission to find our own voice. And when we respond with Truth Speaker, Heart Keeper, You're Stronger Than You Know, we're creating the community that makes courage sustainable. If this resonated with you, I'd love to have you as part of this musical conversation community. Hit subscribe if you want to hear more songs responding to songs, and let me know in the comments what tracks you think need a twisted reaction. What songs have you heard that made you think, someone needs to respond to this? What breakthrough moments have you witnessed that deserved celebration rather than advice? And if you're going through your own moment of calling out the lies, know this: someone sees you. Someone recognizes the courage it takes to choose truth. You're not imagining your own strength, and you're not alone in this fight. Thanks for being part of this musical conversation. Until next time, keep listening for the songs that speak to each other. And remember, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is be someone else's witness.